Hello everyone, and you're welcome to this week's Lockdown with Matt Gilsenan and me, Michael Farry. We have the usual mixed programme of poetry, music and a song today, which I know you'll enjoy. And we have a couple of special guests for you as well. So I won't tell you any more about it now, but hand you straight over to Matt.
Thanks, Michael, and greetings to everybody. Here's a very short song with a very short title. As I Sit Here. As I sit here remembering you, the scented dust like blessing falls, the flowerlet gleaming in the dew, and the sun gleams red on old red walls. On eves like this it used to be that life was full and love was new. And now there's nothing left to me but to sit here remembering you, remembering you. When a memory thus before me stands, my thoughts of you are bittersweet. You held my life within your hands. You crushed my dreams beneath your feet. Yet though no more I know your face, nor where you are, nor what you do, I love you still for this last grace of sitting here remembering you, remembering you. And she'll will. Thank you.
This poem was inspired by this painting by Elena Duff, the Cavan artist. It reminded me of many summer days spent working on the Ox Mountain bogs with my father. It's called Saving Turf, and it's a villanelle, hence quite a bit of repetition in it. Saving Turf. They knew we loved it, though we never said, that high bog summer work when I could go and walk beside him, looking straight ahead. Above the roads the empty acres spread, and over them the wisp clouds high and slow. I knew he loved it, though he never said. High over parcelled fields and farmsteads and bustling homelands scurrying below, I stood beside him, looking straight ahead. He gave no orders or commands. Instead, I learned by watching all his mountain lore. He knew I loved it, though I never said. We worked all morning. He cut, I spread, then paused for tea in the heather hollow. I sat beside him, looking straight ahead. It seems like yesterday, but he's long dead. Sometimes I see him in an evening's glow. He knew I loved him, though I never said. He walks beside me, looking straight ahead.
Oh, thank you, Michael, and greetings to everybody. Today's little presentation is another highlight from that great concert, gala concert in Navan in 1987. The lady in pink is trim-bassed soprano Teresa Carley, who is singing of the Percy French poem Gilsenan, which was set to music by Philip Green, is a performance par excellence. I know you're going to enjoy it. So just sit back and relax. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Teresa. Now we have a very special video. We have a reading by the late Tommy Murray, the poet of Trim. He's going to read one of his poems for us. We thank Frank Murphy of the Meath Writers Circle for filming this and supplying this. Tommy Murray wrote and published many poems and also books of local history. He organised creative writing classes and he organised groups of writers, including the Meath Writers Circle. He's much missed and we're delighted that we have this video of him reading a poem.
This poem is called Culvert. It's about a little place where I used to fish when I was young. We used to fish for whales there under the old stone bridge, a neighbour and myself, barefooted and jam-jarred to the teeth. And heaven was a handful of sticklebacks then, somersaulting in the sun. The cars exploding overhead, the voice of God above, and I was Peter, James and John, all rolled into one. Now would we leave until half an hour after the last rays of the sun had slid below the trees in Jackson's Field, and once when a hard, unblinking moon climbed high above the ruins of Neville's old house, we had a minute's silence for the sticklebacks as they floated belly up between lace curtains of cow pasture. Thank you. That's
it. Today I just want to say a word about a CD that I released several years ago, simply entitled At Home. 1984 was the centenary year of the birth of John McCormack. So obviously it was a big year in my life too, because that was one of the years that I travelled to Scottsdale, Arizona to sing with the Scottsdale Symphony Orchestra. And I remember well that in preparation for all that, Irving Fleming, the music director, alas since deceased, but Irving said to me, "Why don't you bring your wife with you? It's a very special year, and perhaps she can play and you can do one or two recitals on your own somewhere in the desert." So as a response to that, my wife Dolores came along, and a recital of both of us in song and piano was arranged in a place in Arizona, a place called Fountain Hills. And we had a recital there, singing several of the John McCormack songs in 1984. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because one of the songs that was on that list was The Meeting of the Waters. And another event happened then in 1985, which resulted in the production of the CD. For several years I sang as a member of the Navan Male Singers. And one morning in July 1985, coming out of the church, a fellow member, Paul McGillick, said to me, "Matt, I have bought myself a state-of-the-art recording equipment and I'd love to try it out on you. Can I come to visit you this afternoon, say, and maybe sing some songs?" Well, the timing from my point of view was perfect, because we had just returned from preparing a whole program of songs for a production presentation in Arizona. So in 1985, Dolores and myself were quite ready to sing for an hour at least. And Paul arrived at our house in my Athboy on a Sunday afternoon in July 1985. And we sang and chatted and recorded for a couple of hours. And that's the story behind the song which you are about to hear today. It was recorded in our house where we lived then at my Athboy, in our own living room, sitting room, our own piano. And I mention our own piano because if you listen really closely, you can hear the pedal creaking. So I hope you enjoy The Meeting of the Waters with piano accompaniment, Dolores Gilsenan, in our own house. Thank you.
There is not in the wide world a valley so sweet as the vale in whose bosom the bright waters meet. Oh, the last rays of feeling and life must depart ere the bloom of that valley shall fade from my heart, ere the bloom of that valley shall fade from my heart. Yet it was not that nature had shed o'er the scene our purest of crystal and brightest of green. 'Twas not our soft magic of streamlet or hill. Oh no, it was something more exquisite still. when we see them reflected from roofs that we love.
Thank you, Matt and Dolores. And that's our offering for this week. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we look forward to doing another one for next week. Until then, take care.